Hello and welcome to a little guide by Miner. This one I'll be talking about Spearmen, Pikemen and Halbediers and their attack bonuses that they get. Now I'll only be talking about the Scouts and Knights and Camels and Cavalry Archers. And when I say Scouts I mean Scout Cavalry, Light Cavalry, Hussars. When I say Knights I mean Knights, Cavaliers, Paladins, Camels, there's Camels and Heavy Camels. And then Cavalry Archers is Cavalry Archer and Heavy Cavalry Archer. In the background you'll just see a bunch of Paladins fighting against some Halbediers, just for a bit of background entertainment. Also, when I say Spearmen, unless I state specifically that it is only the Spearmen, I'm also talking about Pikemen and Halbediers in that context. Before I go into the actual bonuses itself, one thing I should say is that upgrades from the blacksmith only add an extra 1 or 2 attack to the overall attack that a spearman will do to a cavalry. So spearmen have 3 attack normally, but they get an extra 15 attack against scouts, knights and cavalry archers, but only an extra 7 against camels. Pikemen, they have 4 attack normally, but they get an extra 22 attack per hit against scouts, knights, cavalry archers, and then an extra 11 attack against camels. And then finally Halbediers, they have 6 attack normally, but they get an extra 32 attack per hit against scouts, knights and cavalry archers, and an extra 16 against camels. So what I meant earlier by the blacksmith only adding an extra 1 or 2 attack to the overall attack that a spearman does is, for example with the halbedier, if they are up against a scout cavalry, they have the 6 attack normal, they have an extra 32 attack, which makes 38 attack, and then they can get an extra 4 attack through the blacksmith, so they have 42 attack per hit. So when a cavalry has armour, for example the Paladin has 2 melee armour, the Halbedier, which originally has 42 attack against a cavalry, will only have 40 attack against a Paladin. The extra attack from the blacksmith that the Halbedier can get and the armour that the cavalry can get only increases or reduces the amount of damage by +1 to +4. The increase or decrease in damage isn't done in a multiplication way, so for example if you get 1 extra attack from the blacksmith, it doesn't do the 1 times 3 for example, it is simply just 1 extra attack. This is worth noting because if for example a halbedier does 40 attack against the paladin, you might want to make a decision as to whether you increase the attack at the blacksmith or the halbedier, because what's better, to get some more halbediers, to spend the resources that you would have spent on extra attack on those extra halbediers, or to have spent it on getting the extra attack. So for example, forging costs 150 food and gives you 1 extra attack for the halbediers, but a halbedier costs 35 food and 25 wood, and you could get 4 halbediers for less food. I mean, yes, it would be wood as well, but it would be less food. And it's better to have the 4 extra halbediers, which have the extra bonus to attack, than it would be to have the extra 1 attack for the halbediers that you already have. I did a few tests as well, and I found that 2 hits from a halbedier can kill a hussar. I also found that 2 halbediers can kill a paladin face on. So one of the halbediers may die, but the paladin will die before it can kill off the second halbedier. So you would have spent 70 food and 50 wood on creating those 2 halbediers, and one of them would still remain that you could heal by putting it in a castle or with a monk, and that's a lot cheaper than 60 food and 75 gold, as gold is a bit more scarce in a match. Also on the topic of halbediers and paladins, 6 paladins cost 360 food and 450 gold, whereas 10 halberdiers only cost 350 food, tennis food, and 250 wood. And if you micromanage it, you should, I reckon, be able to kill off the 6 paladins with 10 halberdiers. I hope that was all understandable for you, and I'll be doing more of these videos in the future, in the near future, for example, skirmishers attack against archers. Thank you very much for watching, see you in the next part.